Test 2. There we go. Crikey, mate. Really fluffing me guff. I'm not late. I'm just there when you truly need me. Where's my list? I made a list. March to do. Yeah, I put a question mark by the wolf because the wolf might get scrapped for the demo. Oh yeah, I'm also making pancakes. So I'm gonna have a look into what I can get working on the spider, and depending how tricky it looks, I'll either work on that today or I'll work on menus and level select and maybe get to work on the second level, because I think the mid level can probably be bats and skeletons. And then I can have the spiders in the final one. Do some design sheets and stuff, see if I can figure out how the spider works as an enemy, because I've only thought of him as how you play as him. I don't want to make every enemy just an aggro creep that runs at you and attacks. The important bit is this bit on the left. The bit that I would like to get done, but this may happen in April, is this bit, because that would really help for people who struggle with any of the mechanics in the game if I actually have the tutorial guy in there. But that'll come on later on. The main thing is making sure the stuff's actually there to play first. All of this is probably not going to happen. The movement rework and the fidelity update, like the maps are probably going to stay looking about how they do at the moment, but I don't plan for that to be the final art style of Nosha. That's just a case of that's what I have tool-wise. There is some changes to movement that I'd like to make. There's a few reasons I'm reworking the movement system. One is this glitch, where if you're sitting still and you attack, the direction's random, because the way I'm applying directions at the moment is just a hot mess. Most people shouldn't see that glitch anyway, because most of the time on Nosha you're holding a direction to attack, and I'm going to add a limit in anyway so that you can't attack neutral, so that you don't see this. It's unfortunate that I have this for now, but it's something I can't fix without reworking the system. The other reason I want to rework the movement system is because currently doing this is faster than running. And as a game that talks about time as one of its things, I want to give players a reason to do the normal run. So what I'm going to have is I'm going to have an acceleration on Nosha that ends with him faster than an attack, and the attacking will reset your speed. So there'll be reasons to stay just moving straight with Nosh rather than just spamming attack. I'm still thinking about that bit, like how I'm going to make that work and how I'm going to balance it. So there's like ways to maintain your speed. Maybe I'll have it so if you manage to hit an enemy during that speed, you don't lose the acceleration or something like that. I don't know yet. That's still a work in progress. It tends to be how whips are. They're up in the air. So yeah, these are all extras and not important right now. The important bits are over here. So Spider I would like to get in by the end of March. Wolf is an extra one because I haven't even modeled him yet, so I'm not sure if time frame wise I can get them in, and also mechanically they're not very solidified in how they'll work in a level design, like what the wolf will actually do to a level. So I think the best bet is to probably go for getting the spider in, since I already have the model and I already have an idea of how I'm going to do it and how it's going to work mechanically. The only thing I haven't figured on the spider is what he does as an enemy. Does he just wander around? Does he follow and attack the player? I was thinking of maybe just making him a ranged mob, because you'll be able to shoot webs. That'll be like your thing. And one of the basic things I don't have yet. So I have a neutral enemy. I have my bat, who doesn't do anything, he just flies around. I have my skeleton who comes towards you and attacks you with the pickaxe, so he's like my melee enemy. I think for the spider, a pretty safe one would be just make him a like ranged unit, so he gets in range and he shoots spider webs at you, and maybe have it so the spider tries to run away if you get in a certain vicinity of him, but I'd have to be careful of that because I might make the spider run off edges and things. I think just making it a ranged unit that shoots a projectile in your direction is probably good. So I might make it so spiders can hang out on walls and stuff, but for now in the base it's fine if they can just hang out on the ground. It'd be cool if they could be on a wall and then shoot towards the player, but it's fine if for now all I get them doing is being down here. I think that's functional for what the spider does. If I just make him a ranged unit, that covers my bases. Some other things I actually want to add, which should be quite simple to add just to make the level designs more interesting when we get medium and hard, is some form of either classic platforming nonsense, so a moving platform, a platform that breaks after you've been on it too long, that sort of stuff. And maybe some traps, some like spikes or something. But I've also got to be careful of not getting ahead of myself. I do want to get this done by the end of this month. And by done, I don't mean everything done. I mean, I want everything functionally complete. So I want all the levels and content I'm going to have in the demo in. And then what I can do for April, because I'm unsure as to what kind of time frame I have in April, it depends on how paperwork and stuff comes through, It means that time spent in April can just be cleaning up and making sure everything is as shiny and functional as possible. Like, basically bug bashing for a couple of weeks. Right, close the spider for now. Spider's going to either be for tomorrow or just straight later on. Let's get some rudimentary menus done. Right, level select done. Pause menu done to a degree. Instead of having a pause menu, what I'm opting to do is just reset to menu, which is fine because the levels are so short anyway that you progress or you don't. So this is all done. So now we have our levels and we have our monsters that are left. Of course, this is all stuff I can polish going forward. So my main thing is before the end of March that all this stuff is in. So my first focus is making sure I have my 2 levels and I have my extra monster. I'm probably just gonna say no to the wolf unless I end up like halfway through March and I've already done all this and I'm like, you know what, actually I can implement an extra creature. I have the time. The wolf is gonna remain a definite maybe for now because he's the least functionally viable unit at the moment. I have to do a lot of work to get the wolf in at this point. He will still be an enemy, just not for the demo. Let's do some level design. Let's do some fun stuff. Now we have the implementation so that I can actually just add levels as I please. I design a level involving bats and skeletons since they're the ones I have implemented, so they can be the medium level. We can think about possible traps and platforms things. Another thing I was actually tempted to do for the demo, because it is a concept that will be big later in the game, was bringing in the albinos, because I actually have a way I can swap the hitboxes to do a rough implementation of them now. It's just instead of them having a monster hitbox, I just changed them to the true damage hitbox. So I could do the albinos instead of the wolves, unkillable versions of enemies, which lets me do levels with white bats as obstacles, because you won't be able to eat the white bats, so you'll have to go around them, meaning you'll have to use your other powers. So let's say I do something crazy like you get the spider power, which lets you zip to walls, but you've got to zip to walls past bats that are moving around that are albinos. So you can't go through these bats, so you've got to zip at the right time to dodge bats moving. This is the kind of stuff I'm thinking for the hard level. This is why Spider's going to be in the hard one, because I think Spider's going to be the trickiest mechanic as well, or the one I can do the most crazy stuff with when combined with flying and breaking stuff. Alpha level map. This was the drawing I did when I designed the first map in the game. So what we can do now is we can think about a layout that involves the skeletons as a mechanic and possible ways to make them threatening or a problem. So we're thinking of skeletons and bats being the flying mechanic stuff. We can also think of new things like maybe trap walls, like something that's spiky and horrible that you clearly can't land on. Something to make it a bit trickier for the bat to move around. Maybe so you actually have to use your multiple flaps to go around something rather than just moving in a straight line. Start of the second map, I reckon, should be a skeleton puzzle. I feel like the secret should involve taking a skeleton somewhere weird. Because one of the things I have with the skeletons is they can't jump, but they can fall off of things. They should have enough interesting things going on. I was thinking of doing longer levels with checkpoint systems, but there's also quite a bit of charm to just having lots of little levels with like different challenges to overcome. A vertical slice isn't necessarily what the final piece will look like, it's just a very good idea of what the final piece will look like. So what I need to do is I need to create a basic starting room. I kind of like the scale difference actually. I'm going to try and keep that idea for level 2, because it immediately feels different being faced with these giant imposing walls versus the openness of level 1, because in level 1 you pass the walls quick and it opens up. Level 2 is going to be more graveyardy, so it'd be a bit different. Plenty of good work done today, so I'm gonna leave that as a victory. I've got new assets in, my menu system is functional, so all this stuff's sorted. But yeah, game's getting there. Game's going good. Let's keep up the pace. We're aiming for that March completion. If I can get it completed on March, I can focus on just shining things up to a pristine sheen by the end of that, when we can add silly shit and fun shit and all sorts of stuff. So that'd be good. That'd be good. I mean, look, I've already crossed off like a third of my list, and I'm halfway through it. I've designed one of the 2 levels. Crazy. Far too much progress for 4 hours. It's ridiculous. I need to stop. Otherwise I'll run out of stuff to do. I'll just be on stream like my game's done. What do I do? Dance for the crowd? Crazy talk. It's never gonna happen. Who remembers this? What the hell even hurt me there?